Hello, preparing for Tableau interview? Then your search ends here. In this video, we are going to cover all the important probable interview questions for Tableau. So along with that, we'll also revise Tableau in quick session. We'll see important topics of Tableau as well. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. So let us create a new worksheet here. So I'm going to start with a very basic question, that is, what is Tableau? Tableau is a data visualization tool that allows us to connect to different data sources and create visualizations. So that is the basic definition of Tableau that we all should know. Now, when Tableau came into the market, it came with few products so that it can cater wide market, or it can capture the use cases of the wide market that is available. So this can also be your Tableau interview question, or in real time you might be using one of these products. So that's why understanding this products and remembering them is very important. So let us see what is the list of products that Tableau has to offer. First one is Tableau Desktop. So Tableau Desktop is the primary application of Tableau. Don't forget this. So all your development that you do in real time, you will be doing using this application called as Tableau Desktop. Now, once you develop a report, or once you create a report, so now Tableau Desktop is a native application. So when I say native application, all the development is done in your local machine. So Tableau Desktop will be installed in your machine, and then you'll be creating. So now to share that report, you need a global place, so that everyone can log into that space and they can access. So the second product of Tableau is Tableau Server, again one of the primary application of Tableau. So at some point of time, any developer will work on Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server. These two primary things that he will definitely work. Okay, so it is a server. Again, server, like it is a physical server. So when I say physical server, means Tableau will be installed on a highly configured machine based on number of users that are expected to log in, or based on the what you call number of reports. A decision will be taken, and based on that, server size will be decided. So this is like main role of Tableau admin. He will decide what he has to do. I mean, based on the the discussions with the client and all, a decision will be taken and Tableau will be installed. So other important thing, other product is a Tableau Online. So if you remember, majority of things today are available on cloud. So similarly, Tableau also thought of having an application on cloud. So Tableau Online is also a server, but it is like cloud-based application. So when I say cloud-based application, so what is the difference between a Tableau server and a Tableau Online here? So Tableau server is like a physical server where installation, upgradation, maintenance, all this has to be taken care by a specialized person or a specialist called as Tableau admin. Installation, upgradation, maintenance, regular backup, this all will be taken care by Tableau admin. So this is again a separate skill set, that only Tableau admin will do. So now Tableau Online is a cloud-based application. So which means when I say cloud-based application, you need not worry about installation, upgradation, maintenance, and all this will be taken care by Tableau directly. Okay, so you just need to, but from developers perspective, it does not matter whether you're logging into a Tableau server or a Tableau Online, everything will remain same. I mean, the interface will remain same. So next product is Tableau Public. So this is something like a LinkedIn profile. In LinkedIn, what it has, all our professional achievements that we have done, or our professional profile basically. Similarly, if at all someone wants to see your Tableau profile, then he will go to this Tableau Public and see the, like, what kind of dashboards you have done and all. So in this, it is recommended that if at all you are creating a report on a generic data set, then you can use uh, then you can publish it to your Tableau profile. Or before, saving that report to your public profile, you can get confirmation from your manager and all if it is okay to publish it to Tableau Public, and then you can showcase. So this is the location here. You can search for Tableau Public, and if you click on Discover, you will see how different professionals here are using Tableau to represent the data or to represent the story. And any use case that you are getting in future, this is also one of the places where you can search and see if at all you can use it or implement it in your project. So one, your go-to place here in your real time. So don't forget. So I encourage everyone of you to have your presence in Tableau Public. Keep updating now and then the kind of dashboards you are doing or any use case that you have done. So you can always put that in Tableau Public, and whenever someone is asking for an interview, then you can directly share this link, and then he will know what kind of dashboards you have. Suppose this guy is there, Filippo. Okay, so if I click on in this example, you will see what kind of dashboards this guy has done. See, he has 198 visas so far. So now whenever you will share this link in your profile, or through a message, or through an email, or if interviewer is giving you some task to create a dashboard, then you will be saving that report here in this Tableau Public, and you will be sharing this. Okay, and then he'll come back to this link and he'll see what kind of reports you have done, how you use your visualization strength. All of this he will understand by seeing this. Then he can come to a discussion, then he will come to a discussion with you, and maybe probably take a decision after asking few technical questions and all. So that's why a place here, your presence here is very important here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to share this with you once in the description box. You can have it here. Next important product is Tableau Reader. Again, one very important thing. So till here, like, first three are licensed applications. Licensed applications means it is a cost involved application. But if you are a student, or you are studying in some college, then Tableau encourages students to understand the data. So it is very important. Okay, so you can just submit your ID card, and you'll get a license free, which is valid for 1 year. Okay, so if you need any help regarding this, you can just ping me in the comment box. I'll help you in getting the license. Okay, so next is Tableau Reader. Tableau Reader is again a free application. Like we have, Microsoft Word. What does it do? It reads your document files. So we have Acrobat Reader. What does it do? It reads your PDF files. So similarly, to read Tableau files, we have an application called as Tableau Reader. Again, sometimes, so one use case is, again, sometimes in real time we might share only data source with the user, or we might create one separate data set to cater the needs of the end user, and we will share that user, share that database, or the data set with the user, and he will create one uh, basic visualization, or the kind of visualizations you want on top of that. So for that, we can use this Tableau Reader as the application, so that he can create his own report without disturbing the developer. Okay, so that is the purpose of Tableau Reader. Next, we have two more important products. One is Tableau Mobile. So if at all you want to configure your reports in mobile, then we have Tableau Mobile as an application, which is currently available on Android and Apple devices. Okay, so while development of your dashboard only, you need to get confirmation from the business whether you need report to be configured for uh, or configured to view in mobile devices or not. So once they confirm, you can configure the device for the mobiles. So under this, if at all I go to like say if I go to dashboard here, or this is the dashboard, assume if I enlarge this, here we have layout, sorry, default and phone. So if I click on this, we get different options here. So device preview, if I click, phone is there, desktop, not tablet and all. And after selecting a particular thing, like say I want to configure it for phone, and then I can click on so there is maybe I need to unlock it, edit, yeah, now I need to click on add layout option will be there here, so you need to click on that. That will be added. So where is that? See, now you can optimize the layout and you can plan it accordingly. So that way you can configure it to view in the uh, mobiles. But one thing is, if at all you are configuring it for mobile, you have to make sure both your uh, desktop version and your phone version both are always updated, because once you change in desktop view, it will not get automatically updated in phone version. You have to manually do it. So that's why it is important here. Okay, so that's about Tableau Mobile here. Next is Tableau Prep. This is to prepare your data again, or to modify or to cleanse your data. We will be using this application called as Tableau Prep. Again, this is a separate skill here. So these days, if at all, if a business is completely new into the market, then there is a high probability that that business will use all the products of, or will use the bunch of products of Tableau, like Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, and Tableau Mobile or Tableau Prep. All of this together they'll purchase. They'll have a customized package, and based on that they can use. Okay, so this is about products. One very important and primary thing of Tableau that everyone needs to understand, though you are attending for interview, or you are planning for a specialist exam. This is something that is very important. So there is a probability you will get a question in a specialist exam also. Now after this, important thing in Tableau is how do we connect to data, or how do we download data. So let us first see downloading. So to download, this is the link. So just go to again Tableau here, type alternate Tableau download, and from here you can download and install. So just click on the first link, which is ending with releases here. So if you go there, on the left side it is desktop, and you can download whatever the version you need. Just click on, so the latest version is this one and maximum is this one. You can click on this and you can download it. So I'll just paste this also. If you need any help regarding downloading and installing, you can watch my video, where I have shown how we can download and install. So once installation is done, okay, so next important thing is where will be the repository of Tableau? Important question with respect to your Tableau Desktop Specialist exam and your interview perspective also. Okay, so repository. All the primary information of Tableau will be available in this folder. Okay, so let us go there, and that is the standard location. Under my documents, there will be a folder called as my Tableau repository. Under this, you will have all the important folders that are required for Tableau. So this will automatically get installed once the installation is successfully completed. Like bookmark is there, so any report is there that you are frequently visiting, then you can mark that report as bookmark, so that will be automatically saved here. So that is bookmark. Again, your interview question and your desktop specialist question. Okay, next is connectors. If at all you are downloading any extra connectors apart from what Tableau is provided, then that will come into this folders like Snowflake connectors. So to connect to Snowflake, example, if I go here, file, sorry, I'll click on this Tableau icon to a server, and I'm clicking on Snowflake here as an example. So it is asking me to download the driver first, then use a connector. So such things will be automatically coming into this folder once you download, or you need to keep it here. So those are called as connectors basically. Next are data sources. Any data sources that are you are frequently working, you can save them here, or the default data sources that are provided by Tableau are available in this folder called as data sources. So if I go in this, you see currently in my machine 2021.1 is installed, that's why it is having this. But if you have multiple versions installed, you will have multiple folders here. So if I go inside, these are the default data sets set that is provided by Tableau. So sample superstore is something that we all work during our practice session, and sample superstore is something that everyone is aware. So if you are talking in with respect to your interview, or with respect to your specialist exam, this is something that we all should know. Like what this data set has, what are the fields, how is the data, so that in real time if you get any scenario you should be able to do. So that's why this is something that is very important for everyone. Okay, so remember this. So some of them I have edited, so you can ignore, but sample superstore is there. One is in Tableau format and the other one is in Excel format. And world indicators we have one more, which is also provided by Tableau, but sample superstore is widely used data set. So anyone who is a Tableau developer, he will definitely know what is sample superstore, and he will definitely understand how the data is. So as a starting point, you can work on this as much as possible. Try to implement every scenario that you are working on this data set, that you get hands on. So once you become comfortable on this data set, then you can try to explore or practice using different data sets, so that you can get awareness on different data, or maybe to understand different data. Okay, so that will also help you. So that is about data sources here, or repository. Next important thing is, once you download and install, there will be an icon that will automatically come into your desktop. Okay, so once you open that, this is how your view will be. So if I click on this, or like this, maybe this, yeah, this one. So this is your home page, I would say. So this page is I'll divide this into 4 parts so that it is easy for us to understand. On the left part is connect part. So based on whether you are connecting to a text file, or to a server, or to a saved data sources, all are available here. To a file means this is something that is available in your local machine. Like it can be your Microsoft Excel, it can be your text file, or it can be your JSON file, anything. To a file means it is locally available in your machine. Okay, so to a server means that something that is not available in your local machine, you are going outside your network and connecting to that network, so that is your server. It can be of any data source. It can be your SQL, it can be your Oracle, it can be your Snowflake, it can be your Amazon Redshift, it can be anything. But you're going outside. So simply it can also be your Google Drive. So you're going outside your network and connecting. That's why it is available in Google Drive. Or it can also be in your uh, OneDrive. So OneDrive is also there. Okay. So mostly, like in real time, whatever the documents that you are saving will be automatically backed up in OneDrive. So sometimes your client might ask you to connect to file that is available in OneDrive. Then in that kind of situations, you need to connect to this OneDrive and click on this. So there will be a central location where you'll get access, and using this you can connect to the report that is locally available but from the OneDrive. You see, it is showing me all my OneDrive, the books or Excels that I have here. Okay, so I can go into desktop and I can see what all I have here. So that is something about data sets. Okay, so to a file and to a data set. Suppose every day you are working with some data set that is very common, then you can save that data source. So that will be listed here, saved data sources. So how can we do that? You can go to your Tableau here. Okay, so I'm going to my sheet here. I'll click on this, and I have an option called as add to saved data sources. So that will automatically get listed here. So let us try to add, and I'm going to add it here, sample superstore uh, tutorials, because I'm adding in the session, so I'm saving it here. Now if I go to data source, sorry, here you see the first one, tutorials. So now next time you don't have to go and search for that file and look out where that is, or connect to a server and see every time. You don't have to do that process. So directly it will be listed here. You can directly connect it. So what this does is it saves your connection information. So only thing is you need to enter password if it is a database. But because this is Excel, you don't have to do that. But in real time it saves your connection information. Otherwise what happens, like say if I'm going to connect to Oracle, so it asks me to connect all this information every time. So every day, every time I have to do. So it will waste a lot of time, a lot of my time. So to save that time, I can save it to saved data sources. Very important question with respect to your uh, interview and what you call certification also. So don't forget it. Okay, so in the center of the screen is open, which means all the recently worked workbooks will be available here. Very important concept. Okay, so I have worked on so many reports, that is why it is listed. So maybe based on number of reports that you work, it will show the list here. On the right side is the training videos. So something that everyone might want to take help on, so it will directly take you to that site where you can find help. One important link that I would like to share is if you click type online help.tableau, so you'll get a page called as help.tableau.com. One very important link where you will find all the information related to Tableau, and which is written basically help.tableau.com. So I'll paste it here, and I will also paste it in the description box. You can click on the link and you can navigate. So if you are planning for to take the certification, maybe this is one go to page where you can find all the information in detail. You don't have to refer to any site. You don't have to refer any site. Just go this site, just complete the entire syllabus here. You are good to go, or you are good to write the exam. So don't trust on any third party site. You have the genuine information is present here with examples and with written thing, everything here. So just go step by step, step by step. Okay, so you can start the first step for your certification will be from here. You can navigate and you can do. Okay, so that's your go-to page for any help that you need. And now coming back here at the bottom, you see sample workbooks, which means these are the workbooks that are developed by Tableau, and it is just shown to us as reference point here. So that is sample workbooks. Now again, I can navigate to my dashboard or worksheet using this Tableau icon. So it comes back to this. So if I click from here, suppose this is my dashboard. Okay, so from here, if I'm clicking on this, I get that page. And again, if I click on this, I get back my original page. So from here also we can navigate. Okay, so now let us see the data source layer, I would call. So before creating your report, This layer is something that we spend a lot of time on as a developer or as a data analyst. So you need to spend 20 to 25% of your time in cleansing your data, in understanding your data. So for us, so for all of that purpose, data source layer is very important. If we want to remove all the unwanted things and all, so this is something very important. So I'm going to data source. So on the left side, you see connection. So I'm connected to sample superstore. So let us remove the connections from here. I don't want to have multiple connections for now. So I'm removing it here. So I'm connected to sample superstore, and under that I'm connected to orders here. Okay. And this is the table or preview of data that we have. So orders I'm connected, and this is the preview. So here it is by default it is showing 1,000 lines, but it's not necessary. I can limit it to 10 here. So this is just for our understanding how we want our data to be. So if you feel your data is perfect after looking at here, you can go to sheet level and maybe you can start creating your views. But there are certain options where we can utilize to customize our data. Suppose we want to change the date format. So what are the formats available here? The first is changing the data type. Again, data type is something very important for everyone. Always make sure your data types are in sync, because majority of errors that come are because of this data types and level of aggregation. You always need to make sure the data that you are trying to aggregate or data that you are trying to match are at the same level of granularity. So one is aggregated, the other one is not aggregated, it will not match. Again, if you're trying to write a calculation, they are in different data types, then again you might face issues. So make sure they are in sync so that your calculations become active and they work according to your expectation. So all of that we can do it from here. Suppose we have date here. Assume by default in your data that you are getting, this is not of date format. Assume this is of string format. Okay, so by default it is divided as that. So but that by seeing that you can understand this is of date. So by clicking on this you can change the data type of that. Okay, so like this we can change. So in SQL, how do? We use the conversion functions to use uh, to convert string into date type. So that is there. Or if at all we want to create dates, then we can use make date function. Again, one important thing with respect to specialist exam and with respect to interview, make date function. This is something used to create a date or to make a date from different date parts. So date parts means date part, day part is there, month part is there, and again year part is there. So based on that we can create our own date. Okay, so date is something that is very complex and very time consuming thing. So if you are not getting the date in the required format that you need, then it takes a lot of calculations for you to get them in single place. If your date is directly in date format, your majority of hard work is saved. So that's why always make sure your data is in your date format only, so that your calculations become easy. If in some projects, in most of the like many times it happens that date format no data is of date type, but data type is of string. Then you need to write a lot of calculations to convert that into date level or month level and all. So that's why while in you are in initial stage of project, during that time only you can tell the client or tell the database developer whoever is working on it to convert that into data type, or bring them in the data type, so that your work goes on without any issues. Okay, so you can change. So first thing is you can change the data type here. Suppose you want timestamp, you can also have that. Click on this date and time, so it adds time. Okay, sometimes you might work with the not hour level information. So apart from this date, month and year, you might also work with hour, minutes and seconds. So sometimes you might also need this information. So if you want that and your Tableau is not calculating that, then you can convert your data type into date and time. So there are no, this is called as date and time data type, and the other one is date data type, and the other one is string data type that we all are very familiar with, which is a string in nature. Next is numeric, or which has numbers. Okay, and then boolean, which means 0 and 1. Again, we all know about this. Then is spatial data type. Spatial means like if at all you are working with the geo-dimensional or latitude and longitude information, you are working with maps or you're creating maps, then in that kind of cases, this is very important. So these days you're seeing charts on graphs or on maps. So how are we doing that? We are doing with that with a new data type called as spatial. So again, the pronunciation differs from person to person, but I will like to pronounce it as spatial data, or someone calls it spatial data type. So whatever, but it has information about latitude and longitude. So it will create a map, and based on the data you are adding, it will create points on that data type. So these are the standard data types that Tableau supports. If I go back to my Tableau, so these are all data types. ABC, again, string data type. The calendar symbol that you're seeing is a date and time. So because you're seeing clock also. Okay, so that is date and time. Here only calendar symbol is there if you observe. So it is only date data type. So if I scroll down, you see here United States. So this is a global symbol, or globe symbol, sorry, which indicates that it has latitude and longitudinal information. So there is spatial data type. So if I scroll down, hash indicate measures or numeric data type. Okay, so to classify here, whenever Tableau is trying to connect to data set, it broadly classifies the data into two parts. So this is something that is very important for any developer to understand: dimension and measure. So dimension means, again, very important properties with respect to your specialist exam and with respect to your interview also. So D for dimension, D for descriptive in nature. Okay, which cannot be aggregated again, and which creates header. These are the 3 points that you always need to remember about dimension. And then when it comes to measure, it is numeric in nature. It is something that can be aggregated and which creates axis. Now let us see this with respect to Tableau as well. So I'm going to sheet here. Now let us take one dimension here. So I'm taking a standard dimension called as category. So I'm going to search that and I'm going to drop it on the rows or columns. You see, it is creating a header here. This is the header I was talking about, and something that cannot be aggregated. You see, furniture, office, and technology, it is not getting aggregated. But if I take a measure here, let's say, let us take sales, and if I drop it here, it is aggregating sum of sales and it is creating an axis. So that is what I was talking about, these 3 points. It is numeric in nature, something that can be aggregated, which creates axis. So in most of the cases, Tableau understands whether data is or a field is a dimension on measure based on what the value it has. But sometimes we might need human intervention to convert a dimension to a measure, or to a measure to a dimension, because Tableau only sees whether it is a number or a character, and based on that it tells. But we know whether we have to aggregate that or we don't want to aggregate that. So there is always an option to convert dimension to measure and to a measure to a dimension. How can we do that? You can just go here, click on this. There is an option called as convert to dimension. So this measure will be converted to a dimension, which means you are telling not to aggregate. Even though it is numeric in nature, we are telling Tableau not to aggregate. But similarly, if at all you want to convert a dimension to a measure, then you can click on that and you can click on, suppose segment is there. You can click on that and I can click on option called as convert to measure. So based on your requirement, you can play with these two options, whether you want to have the data in dimension or you want to have that in measure, and you can convert it accordingly. Something that is very important for everyone to remember with respect to your specialist exam and with respect to your Tableau interview also. Now, sometimes you might get requirements from client to clean the data or to get some specific fields. Then at a Tableau at a source level only we can do that, or at a data source level only we can do. Suppose I'm converting back to date here. Suppose this order ID is there, and in this, suppose we are getting a requirement called as country code. Okay, now how can we get this country code? So by looking at this we understand that okay, CA is country code, and then 2020 is here, and then 152.156 is the actual order number. So that is what we are understanding, or that is what client told us. Now we can write like function to get values from here, or if I click on this option, there is an option called as a split option, which will split this field based on the delimiter that is available. So hyphen is the delimiter here. So if I click on this to split, automatically based on the field, the delimiter that is available, it is splitting that field. You see, CA hyphen 2020. So Tableau is intelligent enough to keep the original field. Along with that, it has created three more fields and it has split that into three fields. Now we can keep whatever we want and we can remove the other one. So I don't want this, so I am just deleting this. This way we can do. Or suppose you don't want to do all of this, there is also an option called as a custom split. We click on this, there is an option called as custom split. If I click on this, it will ask for what is the separator or what is the delimiter that we want. So hyphen is the delimiter that we're using. So based on that, how many columns you need? From first means from left and last means from right. So based on that, it will give us the column. So if I click on first one column, you see we are getting only country code. So this way also we can do. Again, this is important with respect to your interview question and with respect to your specialist exam also. So remember this. Okay, now here, so this is about your data preparation. So important things to remember here is your data type, from which table we are getting, and what is the field name. And again is, suppose if you want to change the field name here, you want to give alias, you can double click here and you can change it to order. Instead of order ID, you want it to order number, we can do it. Enter. So something like this. But now there is a problem. You want to understand whether this is original name or if there is any alias. So if I click on this is information about your uh, metadata, basically, like how we get when we run the command called as describe table in SQL. So we get a list of all the columns along with the data type. Similarly here we are getting that information, like what is the field name, what is the table that it is coming from, and what is the remote field. So order ID is the original field that is there. Okay, and it is coming from orders, but how are we writing it as? We are writing it as order number, which means we are having an alias for that. So sometimes we might get confused, like what is the field that it is referring to. So in such cases you can always come to this place and see now what is the actual name of that field, and maybe you can search in the database accordingly to troubleshoot your problem. Okay, one important thing here. Now observe here. Now one important question could be in interview and in specialist exam as well. What is the difference between uh, or how will difference between a calculated field and an inbuilt field? How will you identify the difference? Okay, so difference is observe here. Observe order number and observe order ID here. For order number, there is no equal to operator, and for order ID, there is an equal to operator. That is one difference that we can tell that. Okay, so if it is or if there is an equal to operator, which means it indicates that it is a derived field or it is a calculated field. Similarly, if I go here and if I click on this order ID split to 1, there is an edit option. Okay, if I click on this is the formula that we are using to calculate that value. Similarly, if I go to our original field order number, there is no edit button. Something that you need to remember. The difference between an inbuilt field and calculated field is calculated field will have equal to operator, whereas inbuilt field will not, and this is editable and this is not. So these 2 points you need to remember to understand to answer that question. Okay, so I'm just writing as equal to operator. Okay, so this is about okay, so your metadata information. Now there is again one important question. How does a Tableau allows us to connect to data? This is something that we all should remember and a very primary concept of Tableau. Now, how does Tableau allows us to connect to data? How does Tableau allows us to connect to data? Something that is very what you call limited to Tableau only, or one of the prime features of Tableau, that is live and extract. Okay, so live and extract data type. So live means your data is live, as and when you get the latest data, a report will get updated and new data will be published. Extract means it is a snapshot taken at a particular time. So mostly if at all you are working for a banking project, or if the volume of data is huge and if the client is okay to have a little delayed data, then in that kind of cases we will go for extract connection. Banking, huge data, huge volume, and delayed data. So if the client is fine with all of this, then we'll go for extract connection. In live, uh, real time data, as and when data is getting refreshed, uh, that will be updated to our data source. Something that we all need to understand. Like our stock market, as and when the price is updating, it is reflecting on the site and the graph is updating automatically. Okay, same is the case here. Again, you can always check with the client how much real-time data he want. Based on that, you can always decide whether you want to go with live connection or extract connection. But no doubt, extract is always faster than live. Okay, so I'll post a separate link on this with a detailed explanation. Maybe you can watch it in that video if at all you need, or you can comment in the description box if at all you want to have a detailed description on how live and extract connections work. So comment please. So that is our data preparation here. Okay, now I'm going to the worksheet here at sheet level. So this is how our work area looks like. So I'm going to again divide it into few things so that it is easy to understand. And the concept here is a shelves we call. Okay, shelves we call. Like there are 5 important things here: row shelf, column shelf, marks shelf, filter shelf, and page shelf. 5 important parts of a worksheet. So if you see here, there are 3 things here. One is worksheet, one is dashboard, and the another one is story point. These are the three important units or parts of a Tableau dashboard or Tableau workbook. Now, if you see here, express your data, this is one workbook for me. In that workbook, I have option to create worksheet, I have option to create a dashboard, I have option to create story point. So based on our necessity and our requirement, we will create this one among this. So worksheet is the primary component of our workbook. This is the place where all the development or all the creation of your charts take place. And this is the place where you will have access to your database. And this is the place where you will see the list of all the fields that are available and all the different analysis options, all that are available at worksheet level only. Dashboard is collection of objects. Like say here sheet 1 is there, I'm going to create something like this, and in sheet I'm going to create another, I'm going to create the ship mode. Now if I go to dashboard, you see three sheets it is showing. Dashboard is a collection of object. So if you are coming from a Java or programming language background, you know what is class. It is collection of objects. So similarly, uh, different sheets together represent one story. So that is what this is telling us. Sheet 1 I can drag and drop, sheet 2 I can add. According to how I want to design my dashboard, I can place them in my worksheet and create one story to explain the data, something that is very important. So what are we doing here? We are making interaction between multiple sheets in the dashboard, or allowing sheets to interact with one another. So that is what happens at dashboard level. Story point is like our presentation, which means you can either have only one dashboard or you can have only one worksheet. You see, if it is asking me to replace. So based on our requirement, we will use, sometimes we use worksheet and sometimes we use dashboard. Okay. So now coming back to sheet here. Now we know rows and columns are used to organize the data. Okay, so mark shelf is to customize your data, customize, or I would say optimize, or add extra information to your charts. So for all of that purpose, marks shelf is used. Very important here. Okay, row shelf is to organize your data. Filter shelf is to again restrict your data based on the requirement from the client. Restrict the data, like I want only data for 2021 and all that can be done at from filters here. Page shelf is again how you want to view the data, like having attention only at some part of the data at once instead of showing the entire data at once. Like page shelf, we can, simple example I can give is book is there. Suppose if you are reading a book at a time, we will read only one book, one page, right? Similarly here, even though our dashboard or worksheet has so much of data inside that, at a time it will focus only on one object from that. So that is what is happening in the page shelf. So all that options we have here. So again, this is important with respect to your certification. So you can expect a question in this. Okay, on shelves. And so by default there are 5 options here: color, size, label, detail, and tooltip. But if you click on this shapes, you'll get one extra option called as shape, where you can drag your dimension and all, which based on that shapes will be created. So you can use shapes that are already available here. You see different folders we are getting here. So where are we getting this from? We are getting this from go to documents, our Tableau repository, our connectors, sorry, not connectors, shapes here. And then here we have different. So sometimes we might also need to have the custom images, like company's logo or some specific images that are not available here. Then we can go to Google and download that, or we can download it from the repository also. So all that images you can save it in any of the existing folder, or you want to segregate and have your own, you can have a folder like this, like my images, and you can save it inside that. So I have created a specific folder called as my images, and I have added images in that. So similarly you can do, and you can create your own folder, so that in future it does not cause any disturbance. So you can do that, and you can use it in your dashboard purpose. So that is where shapes is all about. It is, so from here we are getting it here. You see, if I go to my images, you will see all of that. I can use this. We are getting this. So we can use the shapes on charts as well. Okay. So this is about your our sheet. Now, if you go to data source here, again, one more important thing is here, Tableau has come up with one important concept called as physical layer. So I'm going to write it here only, above sheets. Physical layer and logical layer. So it has come up with these two concepts at the data source level. So if I go inside this, this is our physical layer where we are actually connected to orders. So if at all I want to connect to multiple tables, then I can take this people and simply drop it here. Okay. Again, one important thing here is to get the data from multiple tables. One common requirement, be it in Tableau or be it in SQL, is we should have at least one common column. So same, applies here. If I click on this, Tableau is automatically trying to read if there are any common columns between both the tables. If they are available, Tableau will automatically try to make a join with that column. And there are four types of joins that are supported in Tableau. Again, that we all need to remember, and it can be your question from uh, specialist, and it can be a question from your interview also. How many types of joins are available in Tableau? Like left, right, inner, and outer. Okay, these are available, and here equal to operators, these are the different operators that are available. So like this, you can join multiple tables. So I think there is a limit. I think 32 tables we can join at the max. I think that is very, very huge. But mostly we'll try to solve that kind of issues at a database only. But in case you want, you can do it at Tableau also. Now you see again, Tableau returns table is trying to find out if there are any common columns. So if I click on this, it try to match with order number which is available in orders and order ID here in returns. But your expectation was you want to match it with people and not with returns. So we can always do that. If I click on this, you get list of columns available in each table. So under orders, we have all of this, but I want to do it from people. So I'll go to people, I'll select person, and here I will see, okay, order ID is only there. So I'll just select some number, region. Now it is trying to match with this. I can change the join type, left to join, and from here also left to join. Now if I go to data preview, we'll get, you see, this is coming from orders table. This is a calculation, which means this is a calculated field. And if I try to scroll towards the right, I will see what are the different columns coming from different tables. You see, from peoples I'm getting this person, people, and from returns I'm getting this. Okay, so how we can look into data. So if I go to sheet level also, you will see different tables, orders, peoples, and returns. So again, we can categorize this using folder also, like group by folder. So automatically we can group them, or we can create folders and we can group them. So something, we call it as a data organizing here. Okay, so that is about data source layer and worksheet options. So here we have a show me option using which we can create different charts. Okay, so by default there are 24 charts in that, but you can always customize uh, it according to our need. Again, there is one probability of getting one questions in charts. You might ask to create chart and all. But so we talked about joins, okay. But again, there is one important concept that is very much native to Tableau, that is blending. So blending comes into picture. So little minute, joining. So joining comes into picture whenever we are trying to get data from different tables of same data source. So if you are connecting to Oracle or if you are connecting to Snowflake, you are trying to get data from different tables in Snowflake. So in that kind of situations, you will write a join statement or you will write a join query. But suppose your some data is in your SQL. Okay, so some data is in your text file and some is in your Snowflake, but you want both of the data to be presented in Tableau, then how will you do? So in that kind of cases, blending comes into picture. Now one common question between join and blend is, or like, is the working here. So if you're going for a beginner level, then the basic definition would work. But if you're going for an advanced level, then you need to understand the background working of blending and joining. So I've posted a detailed video on this. If at all you need a video on working on join and blending or anything else, just comment. I'll try to publish the video about blending. Okay, so blending works like an equal to operator or a left to join, I would say. uh, Again, one important criteria is we should have at least one common column. We should have at least one common column between both the data sources. That is when blending will work, otherwise it will not work. Same like how we have a condition for our join, that we should have one common column, same thing it should have. Okay, so the difference is here when I try to join here with multiple tables, we have this operator where we can choose whether it should be equal to or not equal to, less than or equal to. But in blending, you will not find that kind of option. Okay, so that's why it is very important. So that is join and blend. If I go to my sheet here, so I said uh, rows and columns are to organize our data. Now let us try to understand the behavior here. Okay, so we can create the view in three ways. One is drag and drop method. Like I'll say I'm taking category, I'm simply taking category and again I'm dragging, and I'm taking sales and I'm dropping. So using, okay, I'll make it automatic here. So this is your drag and drop method. Now I'm removing, clearing the sheet using this clear sheet option, which will clear entire worksheet at once. Or I can simply drag and drop in the empty area, it will remove this. So from this also you will get one question at worksheet level, like regarding, maybe it can be something, some question from your marks shelf, or one question from your filter shelf. There can be a question on this. So prepare on the topics here. Uh, so marks shelf. Okay, so that is one method. Next method is double clicking. So I'm going to search for category, just double click, and again I'm going to search my measure and double click. So this way also we can create. Now based on what you are selecting first, it is creating chart according to that. Now first I'm selecting measure here, and then I'm selecting our dimension, it is creating bar chart. But similarly, if I create, select dimension first and sales second, it is creating a simple text table for me. So there is no thumb rule that you should do this only or follow this method only. Based on what you feel is easier, you can follow that method. Okay, so the last method is you can directly double click in rows and columns and you can start typing. So as you start typing, Tableau will search and suggest what is the field available with that name. So that is called as a type in shelf and you can use them. So category is coming same. If I come here and I can see put on sales and enter, I can move it wherever I want, you see, based on my need. And I can uh, create my visualization. So here we have an option called as four options. We have standard, fit with. Standard means this is how it looks. Even though you have empty space here, it is not using. That is standard. Fit with means Tableau will try to adjust from left to right. Same way fit height means from top to bottom. Entire view means both your left height and width will be considered. So at worksheet level, it might not show much difference, but when you go to dashboard level, it will show a lot of difference. So mostly in this kind of situations, we go with entire dashboard so that even though we place at a dashboard level, it should not cause any issues for us. For us. Okay, so I'm going to see automatically it is trying to take up the entire space. So that is about this thing. And you can sort, always you can sort the views using these two options, ascending or descending, or you can clear the sort using this option called as clear sort. And there is also an option called as, if you click on this, data source order, ascending, descending, and alphabetical order or field or manual or nested. These are the different types of sortings available in Tableau. So you can expect one possible questions on this from this, like what is nested sort. If I click on this again, it will ask me like what is the calculation on based on which you are asking. So that is nested, like on a condition it is trying to sort here. You can select the field name obviously, or manually you want to sort something. So sometimes we might always want a field to be on top, one field, then you can use this manual sort option, or you can use it alphabetical wise or data source order. These are the different types of sortings available in Tableau. Okay, I'm clicking on this and I'm just simply selecting descending. So you can also do it from second here, descending, ascending, and you can swap the view here and then clear sheet here and then duplicate sheet here. Suppose you want to duplicate this, then you can click on this and click on duplicate. You see sheet 1 is there, sheet 1 of 2 is there. All you can duplicate from here. Okay, so or you can click on this and you can duplicate from here as well. So there are multiple options for here. So same way you can create like worksheet from here and you can also create from here. Okay, you can create from here as well. So the difference is, let us observe the distance. Suppose you want to create a sheet and if you click on this, what is happening here? That sheet is coming at the end, but you want to create a sheet right next to this and you're creating here, but it is adding here. Again, if I go here and if I select this option now, it is creating right next to that. That is the difference. Again, this can be your specialist exam question where he might ask like, what will happen when you click a new worksheet from here and new worksheet from this option. Okay, so this might help you. So remember this. So only when we work on tool for a long time, we observe this difference. That's why it is very important for us to understand. So that's the beginning part of a Tableau refresher from my side. So I'll continue and post another video on this, which will be the continuation of this part 2. So please like, share, and subscribe. And if you need anything, please comment in the comment section. And yeah, have a good day. Bye bye.